Ladies and gentlemen, Static of the Future, along with other DC characters, they meet up with Batman Beyond for a great adventure. So, uh, start with my light bulb for the torso. The round part being the chest, the other part being the abdominal. Now I'm adding the appendages like legs and arms. There's another arm. I'm trying to figure out how it's going. I got a little twist. I'm actually doing something a little different. So for the person who wanted this, they're getting me learning something new. Yeah. Anyway, like, subscribe, follow, friend, connect, kick it with me. Most of all, get Mctivated. Yeah. If you want a commission done, just hit me up. Info in the description. So I am running through this. I'm getting the hand ready right now. I'm working on that outline, which I always talk about. The outline to me is what I need to really kind of get right first before any details. This is my action figure stage. Create my action figure. Something I got from Jim Lee was create a hexagon for the hand and then add the fingers to that. So I don't think I've ever mentioned that. This will be the first pod I mentioned that. So I start with my circle. As you can see, then the abdominal part, that's my light bulb. I'm putting a twist in it as well, as you can see by the center line. So since the legs are going this way, I'm figuring out how I want the legs. And again, I'm putting a twist in this and I'm learning. This is something I've been thinking about and working on pose after pose when I'm asked to draw a character, just to bring some variety in my poses. And what I've recognized and noticed is that the little twist is subtle, but it adds more flavor. It adds more action to your pose. Of course, the straight on pose is the most dominant pose. Straight on face, straight on body, or sideways, square on the side, right or left. But when you do put the twist in, it just adds a little more action, a little more flavor to what you're doing. And I'm trying to balance not doing it too much, but doing it enough for the action. And I'm satisfied with what I have in this one. Because the other thing that you're balancing is speed. All right, somebody wants something, let's get it out and done quick as we can. And so you want to keep your quality control while you do things like that. So all the things that I had drawn, I'm now looking at, okay, what will I be erasing once I put this coat on the future Static? Because he has a long coat, like Gambit, like some of the other heroes with long coats. And ironically, sometimes those additional clothings trap you up, or at least trap me up. I won't say trap everybody up, but trap me up. And I say this, what's good and bad about the Batman Beyond pose is, what's good is it looks fluid. I think it looks cool. It looks kind of ballerina-ish. I don't know if that's good or bad. As I look at my reference, I'm trying to figure out how this suit is, because I have not drawn this static, of course, because it's future static. The emblem is pretty similar, or the same actually. The suit is different, or at least from what I've drawn of static. Still has the hoodie though. Long coat with a hoodie. Gotta have the hoodie. From the hood with the hoodie. So now I'm going in and I'm shading the parts I think need to be shaded, getting the light source down. And I know that this is dark, gray, or black. And then you have the dark of the suit, and then you have the white of the suit. So distinguishing between those two. I'm really getting each digit of the fingers. On to Batman Beyond. That arm, the next arm. Ironically, these are the type of suits I really love. It's black with the emblem on the chest. It's cool. It's as an artist, I could see drawing this page after page, because and you're done. It's that quick. Oh, somebody's trying to call me. Always somebody's trying to call me. My phone is on the other side of the room now. All right, so to point you more toward the action, because one thing I did do here was have one figure leaning in one direction, the other figure leaning in the other direction. And now I'm having buildings point sort of to the center of the paper as a way of controlling your eye, or an attempt to control your eye. Oh, wow. They really want my attention. So when you see buildings and things in the background, those are sometimes used as ways of helping the eye move in certain directions. A line or lines will make us follow the eye. Now I'm inking after I put the lightning on Static's hand. So doing the outline, that silhouette. I want to make sure my silhouette is super tight. Super Tight, by the way, is a movie that I put out in 2007. It was a movie adaptation of a comic book I created. I got a personal trainer. I filmed it. I starred in it. I wrote it. The actual storyboard was, I think, number 7, the 7th issue of my comic. So it was called Super Tight. It was a fun experience. Super Tight, Sly the hip hop hero, now named Shadow Fox, named after my son, Norrell. Well, actually, ironically, I came up with the name in high school, Norrell, and I knew that that would be the name of my son. And so the first time I officially used the name Norrell, which is my name spelled backwards, Leron, is when I created my comic book character. I called him Norrell. So my character got his name from my son, who had not been born yet. But I knew I was going to call my son Norrell. Anyway, that has nothing to do with drawing, but it has all to do with my character and how these things happen sometimes, the story behind the character. And now that my son has passed away, it's a tribute to my son. Norrell. So now I'm inking static, got the arm, making sure that silhouette is tight. I have seen some artists who would draw a particular maybe character or even an extended part of the character, like a face, and do the whole face, pencil and ink it, and then move on. Unfortunately, I don't have the foresight to do that. For speed's sake, I wish I did. Then all I would do is, as soon as I drew it, I would be able to go ahead and ink it and fill it in and all that. But I don't, so that's not my gift. Although I think I'm gifted in drawing, that's not part of my gift personally. And I hadn't strived to do it. Now, Static has a little cool goatee and beard, so this Static of the future, this grown Static. See, I needed to add to the back of those dreadlocks, which I did. As you will see, as an artist, the magic of blacking in stuff allows for a lot of mistakes to be corrected. Dreadlock ponytail down. Now I'm off to the hoodie. Ta-da. Now the other arm. You have the push and pull of the opposites. You have one arm going back, one leg going forward. And the twist that I talked about early contributes to that feel as well. So you got the hand extended out and the other hand and arm pulled back. Now I'm filling in all those darks. Kind of hinted at with the pencil. Now I'm going in and figuring out, okay, how will I really shade this? Get my John Byrne ab construction going, which I believe Jim Lee and all the homage studio kind of Wildstorm Studio kind of followed suit. All those great artists, Ron Benjamin, J. Scott Campbell. And early on, I would say Travis Terrell, but man, Travis, beast of an artist. He paved his own way in a major way. All right, now it's time for the leg. If you notice, I always put a little halo around things. So this is the halo around that thigh. I'll put the halo around torso, which I will say I know is not realistic, but it adds sort of a metallic thing. I think initially I got it from John Byrne, and then when I saw people like Jim Lee do it, it was just more confirmation. The halo around the whole entire body adds sort of a metallic look to it, especially with the pencils and inks. But then the coloring can adjust for that and fill that in, or it can highlight it. You know, the colorist can really highlight that halo. And I think actually Travis was the one who mastered the outline of the character. So he did not do a halo in a graphic sense. He was so realistic that he would do like Dave Finch and just take it all the way to black, which is cool. But what he would do to compensate for that is he would put a halo on the outside of the character, and it would be real fine, a real tight line. And I actually was so inspired by Travis Terrell that I think probably for a whole 3 years, my style reflected his influence a lot more. I don't know if it reflects it now, but I so love and appreciate Travis' work. So what I'm doing is I'm sort of fading up knuckle for knuckle, sort of from black to a white fingertip, just so that you get the idea that the light is coming from the end of those fingertips. All right, got the little wristband thing. And making those decisions like, okay, what do I render and what do I just make dark? That's what I did with that paint marker. Getting that hoodie right. All right. All these pauses simply mean I'm thinking. All right. Doing like a core shadow for those dreads. And those are the decisions that artists make because you can easily just take it to black. All right. Separating the body from the inside of the coat. Should be darker. Just a little separation. Now I'm going in doing the eyes. Trying to make sure I position them right. Cast shadow up under the chin. All right, off to the next character. I'm like, boom, it's just black. I can use the paint marker on that. Just love it, love it, love it. And that leg is done. And on to the next. Knee, thigh, calf. That other leg is done. Plus it's smaller too, so that also helps. All right, go in with the feathering detail, any extra line work I need to do, some detail stuff. Getting them rib cages, and now the abdominal. Rib cage on the other side. Yeah. And again, like I said, it's smaller, so that's another contributor to the speed that can happen at this level on this character. And when these commissions ask for multiple people, though, even though it's the same size paper, it adds so much time. It's a per character commission, so it's like, sometimes you have to explain to people, like, yeah, I mean, I have to up the price because you want more than one character. And when that is the case, then I have to charge you per character. Otherwise, I'm going to draw one good character and the other character as a stick figure. And nobody would want that. So it's a charge per character. I also like this Batman Beyond face. Again, simple, all black, glowing eyes. It's kind of a cool look, a minimalist look that is real cool. Black and red, simple colors. Okay, get the shield on the chest. Now I can darken in the chest and do whatever I need to do with it. All right, now putting in the wings. And now for what I consider the magic, what my professor in college called the calligraphy line. Why? Because the width of the line varies. It's not the same throughout. And the reason I had to do that kind of stutter step with that leg is because this is an unnatural way to draw. I'm trying to, with the best of my ability, not turn the paper, which is not natural. When doing art in a natural way, you would turn the paper as you need to. But for your benefit, viewer, I am not turning the paper. For you artists out there, I would suggest turning the paper. Not only to make it more comfortable, but the natural flow of your hand is that circle right there I just did with the coat. That right there, that type of line. Your wrist naturally turns that way. So that is why it's more comfortable certain ways because your hand is designed like that. That's cool, but because it's short and small, and two, you learn to get the job done however you do it. Again, these are decisions that you make. Oh yeah. See that calligraphy line? And I personally only do it on the outline. I know the old image, I'll say image school. Really, it was Marvel before image, was to do those lines. Well, no, I won't say that because Jack Kirby had varied lines all through his characters. I use it as a way of making a great separation. But you have great artists out there who already did it. Mike Golden, Art Adams, John Byrne. No. Gil Kane used more of a straight line though. And there's some people who are able to do that as well. Just use a straight line and make phenomenal pieces. I'm trying to make this building look a little futuristic. And I will go ahead fully admit right now, I need to work on my buildings. I really do. I do my thing and have fun with what I do, but I definitely need to work on my buildings, man. I've come a long way though, actually. I heard Mark Silvestri say once about buildings, it's about the illusion that you're creating. It's just putting some things out there that make people say, oh man, I see that there are buildings back there. And there are a lot of artists that just can go in and do this with just straight darks and lights, which gives it that old photography feel. And I really believe that's one of the contributions of Travis Terrell to sort of getting that impression of things. And then when you look at real buildings, which I do, they're all different. Every building is different. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Static of the Future and Batman Beyond. And I even added color to this one right here. Yeah.
Leron-mcadoo found joy in drawing superheroes, but he was an illiterate third grader. So suddenly his mother said she would not buy another comic book until he could read them. McAdoo rose above being afraid of words to getting paid for words. Now he uses words to get people Mctivated about their own superpower. He drew strength from drawing. This is Comicbook Bold, To see his comic commissions and comic art, go to pinterest.com at that hip hop and select Leron-mcadoo-art.